decisions definitely have the possibility of creating a significant impact in this world, but they absolutely, absolutely without a doubt, definitely impact the world to come. Whether they impact this world is dependent on lots of different things. You know, I can make a decision that I'm going to go to work today, but then end up in, with a flat tire and not make it to work. Right? That's not about my decision. That's about Hashem putting a circumstance here for whatever reason, as we've been discussing. So my decision may or may not have an effect in this world, but it absolutely has an effect in the world to come. All right, we good? Yeah, moving on?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Vizet, this, for example, is going to work out as follows. Kihine, im yizke adam shetipasek le gedula v'aisher. If a person merits having a lot in life, which gives him prestige and gives him wealth. Kihine banav yivoldu ashirim. So the assumed reality is that his children will be born into wealth. That's the world they're going to come into. And if nothing changes, if nothing acts upon that standard that we can assume, they will also be wealthy and have this greatness about them, this prestige that will be recognized, just like the parents were. Unless something changes, the assumed sequence is that the same way it is with generation 1 is the way it's going to be with generation 2. Something has to change in order for that to be different. And the same will be true of the opposite. If a person's lot is to be one of poverty, or one of not being known and nobody cares about you, being a loner, then the assumed reality of the next generation is going to be the same, unless something changes, unless something happens to change that circumstance. Nimtza, so it comes out, that the wealth that these children have received and that they have now attained did not come to them not of their own, but simply because they are the next people in line. This is the circumstance that they were born into, and therefore that is their assumed circumstance for life. It's not because of anything that they've done. It's simply because this is what was decided for the father, and until that changes, that's going to be the circumstance for the son. It's a simple linear thinking, and that can work unless something changes. V'ulam, however, amitas inyan kachu, the truth of the matter is like this, meaning he's going to take this a step deeper. Sha'adam zaycha lebanav b'chamisha dvar, that a person is able to give over to the next generation in 5 ways. Shemanu Chazal, that our sages counted for us in Idias. The Mishnah says as follows: the following qualities a father gives over to his son: beauty, strength, wealth, intelligence, and longevity. So we're seeing over here in this Mishnah, says Ramchal, that a person can inherit these things. These are products of a previous generation. These are products of the parent that aren't necessarily there because the child deserved it or because the child earned it. It's simply, this is the life they're born into. Because once the decision is made for the parent, until something changes, that's necessarily going to be the situation for the child. That's just the standard sequence of events. It's just how it works.
I'm missing one.
You
said beauty, strength, wealth, intelligence. I'm missing one. Probably the one.
Longevity. For example, just to make it simple, we find that when back in the day, in the times of our ancestors, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, it says that they would worry about dying when they reached within 5 years of when one of their parents died. because the assumption is that the longevity goes from generation to generation. So when you get to that point, you have to be concerned. I might just be in the same place they were. I might just have inherited my years, and whatever they had is what I'm going to have, give or take a couple. Now, that doesn't have to be the case. A person can outlive or underlive a parent. That certainly can happen, but the assumption would be that unless something changes, which we never know, that's what it's going to be.
This is talking about genetics or biological predispositions.
Are these genetic and biological predispositions? They may take that form. They may take that form. They don't necessarily have to be that, though. They may take the form of genetics and things like that, yes, but not necessarily. In other words, you may have somebody who passed away in an accident, which wasn't genetic at all, and nothing to do with any dispositions, and yet the child still needs to consider that their end time, potentially. Again, it can take the form of genetics, but it doesn't have to be. That's all. Okay. You know, somebody lives an extremely healthy lifestyle, and the kid doesn't, right? You can't just say, oh, well, hey, it's genetics, right? It doesn't always work.
Yeah, I was going to ask, where does the theory, where does free will fit into this?
Free will fits into the category of unless something changes.
That's
Yes.
a huge caveat.
It sure is. It sure is. So we're talking about the way things work. So first we have to explain the rule. The rule has this catch. That catch might be tremendous, but this is the rule without the catch. Then there's the catch, right? Okay. Okay, so now, ukvar afshar, and therefore it is already possible. Sheyivalid adam b'toiva, a person can be born into a good situation. Mitzad hayais aviv kvar muchzak ba, simply because the father was already in that position. So when the father is given this decision that they're going to have this good life, the child can be born into that. And unless something changes, that can be the assumed reality of the child's life as well. And so on. The next generation too. That can go on and on.
Can that jump quickly? For example, if you're an immigrant from Eastern Europe or Africa or Israel or whatever, you go to college, whereas your ancestors did not, and you do well. Have you made now that whole jump? So now your kids are going to be rich and and successful and
Okay,
like that?
I think one thing we've learned is that a person's finances are not dependent on their actions for the most part.
This says wealth.
Exactly.
In the normal scheme of
Exactly.
things.
What it said was that if a person is granted wealth from Hashem,
Yeah.
then the son will be assumed to be in that same position. Not because the child accomplished that, because the parent accomplished that, because the parent was given that. That was the situation that they were granted. You could have someone who is extremely successful in business and lose all their money. And you could have someone who's extremely brilliant and never make a penny.
But it does mean financial wealth.
Yes. Well, many things.
I mean, because
But
we know
financial
real
wealth as well.
is, but this is referring.
Yes, this is referring to finances.
Financial
Yes.
wealth.
But again, a person going to college doesn't mean they're going to have more money.
Right.
A person having a successful
But
business.
it does. But these are indicators.
No, they're not. That's what I'm telling you. They're not. We've discussed this. Let's go through one more time. If a person has decided they're going to have $10,000 that year, okay? So no matter how much money they make at their job, they're going to end up with $10,000 somehow or another.
Right. I
There's
know.
going to be
I get
this
that.
bill. There's going to be this tax. There's going to be this
Right.
accident. Whatever it is, the end of the bottom line is going to remain, regardless of if you're a CEO of a company or you're mopping the floors. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is always going to be what Hashem determines. So when we're talking about wealth, going to college isn't affecting that. Living in a different country isn't affecting that. All those things, that's predetermined. Now you need to do your job. You need to do your responsibility.
Right, but there's a certain amount in the physical world that we have to sort of be Hashem's teammates.
We have to do
make
our
other-
responsibility,
to make
correct.
other people feel like at least there's not a miracle happening.
Yes, but at the same time, don't ever view my going to college as my earning more wealth. It doesn't work
No,
that
I
way.
get that.
So
but it's
so
still
your question
part of-
was, if the child immigrates from a third world country and now is successful and goes to college and all that, does that mean that's what's going to happen necessarily for the next generation? No, it's not related at all. Because the bottom line is what matters, and the bottom line is not affected by any of that. The bottom line is entirely what Hashem decides in Rosh Hashanah.
Right, but that's not exempt from Hishtadlus.
That doesn't change your responsibility to go act in the world of
There's
normal and do your
There's a
Hishtadlus, do your
relationship,
part.
but it's not causal. I get it.
Right.
Okay. Fine.
Okay. All right, we good? Anybody need more coffee?
Please.
Yeah?
Coffee.
I know a place.
Coffee. No, I said take more coffee.
All right, here we go.
What is coffee? What is coffee?
What is coffee? Wow. I think you got to go inside and ask them. They've got some experts.
The elixir
Okay,
of wonderfulness. Don't miss it. You don't drink
but
it.
you're asking the wrong guy. I don't drink coffee
Exactly.
because I don't sleep, so I don't need coffee. All right. The Afshar Gam Kain, and it's also possible. Shemitzad Zechus Aviv Tagia Leitayva Bizman Min Azmanim. It's also possible that a person might receive goodness because of what the father had done at a particular time. Meaning it doesn't have to be a lifetime that way. It could be a specific time within their lifetime that's that way. It's possible that a person can merit a degree of wealth that will be passed to the child for a certain amount of time. Or they'll only get it at a certain point in time. It's not necessarily a full life commitment to this lifestyle. It could be a partial commitment to that lifestyle. A person can have wealth part of their life and not for a different part of their life. That happens. There are people who hit it rich at some point, and there are people who lose everything at some point. These things happen. And that could all be, again, as a result of what the parents had done. This could be the result of that. Okay. Okay. So, as a way of illustrating this idea, we know that there are 12 tribes. Klal Yisrael split up into 12 Shvatim, and each of these 12 tribes has a unique personality, and that personality was accented and punctuated in the blessings that they were given by Yaakov and again by Moshe. So the idea there is that every family had a specific mission. And you're going to find through history that certain families will consistently be in a particular line of work or accomplishing a certain. You'll have some families that are consistently making money. They might skip a generation here or there, but overall, this is a wealthy family for many, many, many generations. And their job clearly revolves around the mission of doing what's the proper thing to do with the money. And you'll have another family that's consistently Torah scholars through many, many generations. Again, obviously part of their mission as a family, which will continue on, is Torah study. You can have a family that's consistently in the food service, right? Asher, the family of Asher, the tribe of Asher, Shmeina Lachmai. His bread is fat. In other words, he Madani Melech. He makes the delicacies of the king, meaning that cooking, food preparation, is in the genetics, so to speak, of the family. And you'll find that some people have it and some people don't. And it can be a familial thing, and you can call it genetics. I don't know if you want to call it genetics or not, but bottom line is we certainly find many, many places and many examples where certain people will have same traits following from one generation to the next, and that's this idea that Hashem put something in, and unless that is changed, it's just going to continue from one generation to the next. Brad,
Yes.
I see an eagle in your future.
Oh, no. Because I'm circling back.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Oh, that's an inside joke.
Okay.
All right, Brad,
I'm a third.
should we share it?
All right, we can share.
We can share it.
I'm a third generation insurance agent.
Yeah.
Okay? But we had a company called Eagle Insurance.
Oh, yeah.
Where I came from, and the commercial that we had on television was rated the worst commercial ever on TV.
No, seriously, it really was. It really was.
For 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003.
Why'd you keep running the same
And
word?
David Letterman.
That's why.
And David
That's
Letterman.
why.
Oh, why?
That's why.
Well, that's why.
That's exactly why.
But David Letterman rated them, so he did his top 10.
Yeah.
It was the top 10 worst commercials.
Oh,
they've
that's
ever seen.
great.
And who was the eagle?
It was the Eagle, was my dad, and the chicken soup.
There it is.
Jumping
Yeah.
on top of a car
Tell me
and
it's on
waving-
YouTube.
Oh, it is. You
Is
better
it on
believe it.
YouTube?
Oh, yeah. So I grew up with this commercial, not knowing that the eagle himself was living around the corner, and it's in the family, Brad. We just read it right here.
So if you guys know my personal email is Eagle Boy.
Right.
That's right.
Eagle Man.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
So if you notice State Farm on an eagle,
More like a wing and a prayer.
Oh, that's funny.
Sugar
yeah.
Daddy's had some pretty bad commercials. Empire.
oh yeah,
Empire.
oh yeah.
Well, I know what I'll be cricketing.
Okay. All right, so
Like superimpose and eagle suit, a chicken suit on his face for his car.
all right, let's finish up over here.
Just kidding. Eagles. I don't know.
The Afshar Gamkain. It is also possible that because of the merit of a father, a child might receive some goodness at a certain point, as we've just described. Or this can also work the other way around. If a father messes up and does something that is a demerit and causes them to earn something negative, that can play out in the child's life. It can happen. A person can lose their wealth at a certain point, and that could be because of the father. Again, they're not punished for it, because it's not their own doing, but it could be the circumstance. It could happen because of something the father had done. And from the other side, we can look at this and say, a person might be granted goodness because of a descendant who will eventually do something good. Now this is already next level. Now we're talking about somebody getting some goodness in life because of something that hasn't even happened yet, because of something that a great-grandchild is going to do.
Would that be like roots?
Exactly. That is the example. The example that is brought by all the commentaries that I saw here is that the nations of Ammon and Moav were not to be destroyed, were not to be bothered even. When we were having our conquest of the land of Canaan, these two nations were not to be touched. Why? Because of Rus and Naomi, who are going to come from them. So here you're talking about taking generations, hundreds of years of wicked people, idolaters, murderers. These are conquerors. We're talking about bad people here. Generations, probably millions of people by the time you count everybody, all living because of one individual who's going to come out of that nation.
That's different.
Why?
They didn't destroy them because they needed the rest of the alive. Sword and fruit out.
So what do we see? We see that they all lived because of something that didn't even happen yet.
Yeah, but it's different. They had to keep them alive for a certain reason, not because just because she needed to be born.
Yes, but why does that mean?
It's not because of her.
So then why did the great-great-great-grandfather live? What merit did he have?
It wasn't a merit. It was that she had to happen in order for David to happen.
Right, so that was one way. This is what Rav Dessler calls the lowest possible level of merit, is when you just need to be there as a link in the chain. But that itself is enough for the person to live a life.
How can you have a zchus that doesn't even exist yet?
So that's the idea. The idea is that we look at the term zchus as a merit. I did something good, so it's a reward. It's not that. That's not what the term zchus means. The term zchus means that there is a reason for me to exist, or for me to have this good thing. All that is the word zchus. So therefore, Rus's great-great-great-grandfather lived not because of anything that he did, It's because he needed to live in order that she should be born 400 years later.
Why?
So that's not a merit in the classic sense of the word. It's a zechus, meaning it's a reason. So therefore, the lowest possible level, like Shai is pointing out, it's not because something good, it's just because it needed to be. And that's the very lowest possible level. There could be a slightly higher level where someone down the road is going to do something good. Let me give you another example which will bring it out. The Gemara says, why would you return a lost object to someone who's an Amaretz, an ignoramus? You have an ignorant person who doesn't study Torah, doesn't follow mitzvahs. But why? But why? Why does it apply to everybody?
Down the road, they'll have some.
What?
Down the road, they're going to have some.
Exactly. The Gemara says the reason is because down the road there might be somebody good who comes from them, and therefore your giving will be considered a merit to that person. That wouldn't make the commandment.
Yeah.
Really. Giving money to someone who's going to go buy drugs or alcohol with it is not a good thing. Right? What do you mean? It's the right thing to do. I'm helping somebody who's destitute. They have nothing. Yeah, but you're not helping them, right?
If somebody comes to me and they ask me for money, I'm not going to say,
What if you see the guy is standing outside the vape shop?
they're okay.
Right?
But I'm just saying,
Right, so that's the idea. The Gemara is saying, even so, you're still supposed to give. Why? Not,
you never know where.
exactly. Because eventually there's going to potentially be something good that's going to come, and we never know that. So therefore you're always supposed to give. So that's the idea here. You could have very, very minute merits that we're going to call them. Again, they're not merits, they're reasons. And somebody way up the line might be getting goodness and success in life because of something that's going to happen way later on in history.
Is there a Hebrew word for this? This particular concept you're speaking out, it's good, but it's not really meritorious.
This is what the word schus really means.
This
Yeah.
is schus.
Yeah, Rav Dessler says the word schus comes from the word zakus, is purity, innocence, clarity. It's not about merits.
Okay,
It's a mistranslation, basically.
I have to unlearn that now.
Silly
Yeah,
English.
go back to Rav Dessler.
Unlearn.
Yeah, go back to Rav Dessler.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we got to finish up here. Late, sorry. And also, because of the place where a person finds themselves, or the group, the social group that they find themselves in, a person can also get good or bad from the things that happen in this world. So as the Gemara says, when the destroyer is given permission to destroy, everybody has to be careful. Because when things happen around you, they can affect you. So a person has to understand that the people they surround themselves with is a really important part of life. Because if you surround yourself with people who are going to be deserving bad things, that could end up affecting you. Now obviously everything is deserved. There's nothing that's undeserved, obviously. Hashem works with perfect judgment. But you have to understand, when we're talking about the circumstances, a person might get themselves into a lot of unnecessary pain in this world simply because of their acquaintances, their friends, their family, the people that they associate with, or the place that they're in, the place that they live. These are all factors that can affect a person's life. Again, we're not talking about judgment in the world to come. We're just talking about the circumstances of a person's life in this world. So all these things can play roles. So we're talking about the past, talking about ancestors, we're talking about the future, descendants, we're talking about the world around you, your associations, your family. All of these things play important roles, and you need to be careful. Make sure that you're doing your best to stay in a good place in every sense. All right, very good. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you next week.
Is this where we're leaving off at 8?
Yes, it is.
Because your book is different from ours, sometimes I have a little